Hi guys, welcome back to another daily tarot card. These are your daily tarot cards for Tuesday, July the 18th, 2023. Today we're pulling from the Chakra Wisdom Tarot cards. So there's the deck there if you guys are wondering. I believe this is off of Amazon. Look when there's like long weekends like Labor Day or anything like that coming up, and see what kind of deals they have. Indigo has really good deals as well. I'm not sure if they carry this one, but you can definitely check. But it's a great way to get those those really good decks. You know what I mean? It's a great way to save some money. So we have the Ace of Coins. So it's like we're about to ascend on a mountain. You know what I mean? It's like, this opportunity comes. This is being gifted to us by the universe. I feel like with Judgment coming in, this rebirth in our life, we get that twice with the Ace of Coins and Judgment. Especially the fact that she's playing a flute. Usually you see like them with the astrology answers. I always go back to that deck. That's one of my favorite decks. But it's just like sitting there and it's like your clairaudience. What is universe trying to tell you? And I feel like this is your ancestors. It's like we wonder who our guides are. We wonder who these entities are that are sharing information with us. And it's like they know you have the determination, the dedication to sit there in faithfulness and trust, to sit there and the love to sit there and share these abilities. So I feel like that's who whispers to us. I feel like God, divine Yahweh, Yeshua, Gaia, Mother Earth, Creator, your higher self allows yourself. It's like when you come to that level, it's like, they say like the only way for you to experience this is to go through some major trauma, to go through some major hurt. You know what I mean? I hope and pray that's not always the case. You know what I mean? For me, that's what it was. I always ran away from this. And this is like, they said, and when I started getting channeled messages and I was writing them down, it's kind of like you go into this, like, especially when I do like dailies as well. That's why I ask my kids, like, if you're going to be down here and you're curious of what I'm doing, that's fine. But you got to be quiet so I can put all my energy into this because you really concentrate on it. It's kind of like when you do chakra healing. You know what I mean? It's like you sit there and you really put all your energy and oomph into everything. It's like doing like a reading for a client. I don't call you guys clients. I call you guys my soul tribe because you guys are more to me than that. The fact that you trust me with your energy. And I love my repeat people because I know some of them, especially the males, not all the time. I have, people that I read for, one in particular where it's like he trusts me so much. You know what I mean? And it's like this one person came by and I could feel the not hesitation, but I feel, well, maybe there is hesitation, but I feel like it's just like, I feel like he's trusting me more because it's easier to go in his energy. You know what I mean? So I feel like, that's the biggest barrier is like, and I do it too. Like I'm afraid of them seeing certain things and stuff like that. But it's like, I will only tell you, not only tell you, but it's like, I tell you what they tell me. You know what I mean? Like they're not worried about like, things that you're worried about. You know what I mean? Unless you're doing something you're not supposed to do. And they don't even tell me what it is. They're like, stop. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's wonderful. Honestly, you go into this like channeled state where it's just like you can't even hear anything around you. You're like, you know what I mean? It's tough to describe. It's kind of like a daydream where you go into this like level of consciousness but unconsciousness around you, and you're just sitting there concentrating on what they're telling you, and it's like you're putting everything into it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I wonder why I'm tired today. Friday was such a productive, busy day. Like, I kid you not. I'm just like, damn. Like, I always thank God. I'm like, thank you for making me a badass. Thank you for, you know what I mean, giving me the strength to do all these things. Because it's just like, oh, I love being kept busy because it keeps my mind off of negative stuff, where I think too much. But I love the fact that they're saying like this inheritance. And I'm as guilty as that too. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like, I get this doubtful energy because it's like they tell me certain dates and this and that. And I'm just like, and then they tell me something that contradicts it. I'm just like, ugh, like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Frustration, I feel like, is the biggest thing out of all of us. But I feel like, especially with this Three of Wands, this inheritance is a deeper gift. I remember sitting there on Friday. I sat there and I opened a Linktree because I'm like, I don't have enough time for my website. I have all these great ideas. I know my son would be brilliant at it because I've asked people to do intros for me and no one's done it. So my son turned around and was just like, "Look, Mom, do you want to see this intro I did for you?" I'm like, "Okay." And he did it for me. And I was just like, "Wow." I'm like, "Thank you." You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even ask him to do it. He just did it. You know what I mean? And I always told my kids that. I said, "I want to become so big with this that I employ you both in this." You know what I mean? But the thing is that both of them have the abilities to do this as well. And I know they said one of them is stronger than anything that this world has seen. So, you know what I mean? Will they come into it? I don't push them towards anything. Their faith, I let them gravitate towards it. One is getting channeled messages a lot, and I'm like, we need to get you a book, and you need to start writing those things down. Write down the date, write down the time, and write down what these things. I said, because they're trying to tell you things. I love the fact that he trusts me enough to share it with me, because I'm like, this is the interpretation I get. And he's just like, whoa. He's like, I didn't even think of that. And I'm like, well, that's why you share with me, because I'm able to help you interpret what is going on. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, they had to go through a tragedy. That's the crazy thing as parents. We sit there, we have this ideal of what our partner will be like, our life will be like, and you sit there, and like myself, I waited until I met someone that I respected, you know what I mean, to have kids with. And the way that Shane was with his parents, I respected the living crud out of that. I was like, the fact that he is so respectful, and you know what I mean? It's just like, you don't see that a lot. You know what I mean? Where they're very, conscious of what their parents' wishes are and respect and all that good stuff. I just love the way that he was with them. And, that's why I was just like, I need to honor him. Like, even though he transformed, it's like, I need to, even though it went against us, I was like, I need to respect the fact that this is who these people were to him. And I need to honor him in that way. Like, there's this passage that I wrote down, and it means a lot to me. It's like, I want to become the kind of widow that Shane would be proud of. And I know he's proud of me. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like this is where, we wonder who these people are that are giving us these channel messages. There's ancestors that we've never met or like known as deep as we want to, but you just feel that instant connection. You don't know what it is. You know what I mean? I felt that with my dad. It's like this instant connection, very mysterious, very standoffish. You know what I mean? But funny as heck. We had so many things in common. What do you call that? America's Most Wanted, Nancy Grace, the gossip magazines. Like, you know what I mean? It's like not even watching someone's life be imploded. It's like, what are they wearing? Like, what's the fashion and stuff like that? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't want to sit there and be entertained by someone's life being falling apart. A lot of it is false narratives. Most of it for me was fashion. I've always been drawn to fashion. But on so many levels and on a deeper level, that connection that we had. You know what I mean? So it's just like, there will be people in your life that are put into your life that you don't understand why you connect with them so on a deep level. You know what I mean? Until you have those conversations, until you learn more about them, and you're just like, whoa. You'll see like a lot of synchronicities that are the same. And it's like, your souls recognize each other. You know what I mean? It's just like you can just feel something is familiar. Why you guys connect on a deep level. You know what I mean? Like, you empathize with each other, 6 of Cups and 6 of Coins. You are meant to share these abilities. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of us, because they're showing 5 of Pentacles, and it's like where we're going through that anxiety, that fear, worry, doubt. I feel like the first couple of years of losing Shane was very much like that. The fear of everything. You know what I mean? I couldn't sleep. I didn't sleep for the first year after Shane passed away. I would sleep 4 hours. That's all I could sleep. It definitely took a toll on my mental health. And my sister's like, you know what? She goes, you're tired. She goes, lay in bed. She goes, even if you're up every 5 minutes, 20 minutes, she goes, your body will be like, we need to rest. I like this feeling. She goes, you may just lay there. She goes, but I would get to like 8 o'clock at night and I'm like, I'm just so over this freaking day. You know what I mean? Kids are playing video games or watching a movie or something. So I would just sit there, put that on for them. I'm like, if you need anything and I'm asleep, just wake me up. And they're like, no problem. You know what I mean? And it's like, they would ask me for stuff, no problem, go do it, and then, go back and lay down. You know what I mean? But it's just like, that gave me a lot of peace. You know what I mean? Just to sit there and just like laying there. You know, a lot of the times now I feel like, oh, I could stay up and do a bunch of things. Like I did that on Friday. I'm like, oh, I'm not even tired. It's like I was tired, but I wasn't like, oh, I need to lay down and have a nap tired, you know? But I was just like, okay, this is, you know, I only had 4 hours of sleep. I'm like, let's go lay down for a bit before Shabbat starts, and then I'll do the Kiddush and everything like that, and we'll go from there. You know what I mean? So it's just like meditation. That summer I meditated, like honest to God, it just to, you know, just ground yourself. You know, even my son's like, Mom, you haven't meditated. I'm like, shut up. It's like I haven't had time. I had time. I was watching The Crown. I had time. I'm just so I didn't even realize when Princess Diana's birthday was. Like I really like, you know, I've learned some things about the royals. I'm just like, like the seniors. And I'm just like, it's like when you come into this consciousness and you learn the deep, dark secrets of this earth, and you're just like, what in the flying F? You know what I mean? It's like, what kind of demonic, you know what I mean? When people say hell on earth, it's like, when you learn the deeper, darker sides of this earth, it's just like, oh, we're already here, you know? But that's why I feel like it's like the Five of Pentacles. It's like you came out of this hermit mode, and it's like you were blessed with these things because you were meant to share them. They say the biggest part of healing is that you are able to help heal others. That, you know, they're not alone. You know, I just read that on Nancy Quinn's I think it's called Garden Life or something like that. They have like, you know, they have life after loss. You know, they have love after loss, and they have a gardening group. So, but they all connect into each other. Like, you know, we sit there and we're sowing seeds, and we're reaping the rewards of the beauty of the garden, and or the vegetables or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So it's just like so many different layers of it. I am so grateful that I found them, because it's just like I even found walking with God. You know, widows and widowers walking with God. It's just like there's just to connect with people going through the same thing. It's just like to normalize, unfortunately, this kind of situation really does help you along your journey. Like, you know, they're just like, tell us who you are, what are you going through, and you know what I mean? And it's just like, I posted once in there, you know, but it's like Nancy will post things, or Ed will post things, or a fellow member will post something. We all just like, you know, love on each other. And it's like, yeah, we went through the same things, but you know, it will take time. There's like all of us, like I was one of them, and they're just like, yeah, isn't this anxiety the worst? And I'm like, oh my gosh, yes. Like I thought I was going to have a heart attack, because Shane had, not even thinking of his lifestyle, but it's just like, you think you were a fear of that. Like, you know, your partner passed away. What's to say, you know, it's not going to be me next, you know? And especially when you have kids, you're just like, that's something always on the back of your mind now, you know? But it's just like them normalizing that, saying, yeah, that's part of it. You know, unfortunately, we can't give you a timeline. Mine was this, but to sit there and be like, listening to Mass when it used to not be so political, Mass for shut-ins, so I stopped watching it. Tribal Trails has been a huge thing for me, because a lot of them have gone through, like they said, tribals. They've gone through a lot of trials in their life. You know what I mean? But it's like their faith is what got them through. Sometimes it was so, the days would be so bad I watch it 3-4 times a day. You know? Just to get some inspiring words that would speak to me. That would be like, it's not a great day, but we got to keep moving forward. You know? So, you know, but you know, the biggest thing is like helping others. It's like, you're not alone. I was there. I was with you. You know, I anyone I come across, I'm like, join this Facebook group. It will really help you. I'm like, just post once. You will read the comments. Trust me, it will help you just to know that you're not the only one feeling these things, that it's normalized. You know? This full moon, I'm getting crescent moon here. They mention the full moon in this card, but it's like reestablishing boundaries. The thing is that they gave me a channel date for this, and it's in one of my videos. But it's also, I said something's happened around Lionsgate portal. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like they were talking about karma. So is there a set date from that date till Lionsgate as what is going to transpire? You know what I mean? So be conscious of that. You know what I mean? Of what you do. Like, you know, sometimes it's hard to stay away from things, you know what I mean? Like myself, it's just, I keep telling myself, no, 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 can't do that. But it's just like, when you get butterflies in your stomach over someone, it's just like, ugh. You know what I mean? It's like, you fight it as much as you can. What can you do? So, Ace of Coins, the card of elegant receipt. The chakra relates to the growth of your personal root chakra. This may present an untapped skill or personal trait that will result in tangible manifestation in your life. And I feel like that's where it's like, we feel like our clairaudience comes in, our clairvoyance comes in, but there's different levels. It's kind of like a video game, level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this higher above that. It's like, this is the earthly, like, awakeness, and then there's another awakeness. When they talk about the seventh chakra, our sixth sense, our where they talk about the Isaki records, where it's like, now you're able to unlock these ancient wisdoms. I'm very drawn to Egypt. I'm very drawn to the pyramids. You know what I mean? But it's just like, you know what I mean? It's like those hieroglyphics. What do they mean? What are they trying to tell us? You know what I mean? It's like, it's like, how do they know about cell phones and helicopters and, tanks and everything like that? You know what I mean? They definitely were touched on a higher level than we were able to. An inheritance is coming to you, and that will present in physical form. So, you know what I mean? I feel like that's where we keep getting this, like, 7 of Wands, this inheritance, and I keep thinking, like, financial endeavors, because, I don't care who you are, unless you have a boatload ton of money. Money does buy happiness. I'm sorry. The fact that you don't have to think about bills or anything, or be fearful about anything, it's like, that is freedom. That you could sit there and it's like, your kid needs something, and it's like, you buy without even a thought. It's like, okay, I can't buy this week because I got to buy this for my kid. You know what I mean? Because they need it. It's a necessity. You know what I mean? It's not like being greedy and they need something. It's like, no, this is a necessity. You know what I mean? And to buy and not even think, you know what I mean? My son needed something, and I got a reading on Friday. And I'm just like, Diane, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, like, have the money, but it's just like, trying to, turn things around after, be living a certain way for so many years. You know what I mean? So, like, Spirit was being so kind with me. They're like, listen, it didn't take you 2 seconds to get to this spot. It ain't going to take you 2 seconds to get out. You know what I mean? So it's like changing the way that I spend, changing the way that I think. You know what I mean? It's just, because it starts and ends with me. So it's just like changing certain things. But the fact that it's just like, my son needed a necessity, and it's like, here's a reading out of nowhere. They're like, here's a reading, and I paid for it. And I'm just like, Diana, you know what I mean? Diana is like so thankful. You know what I mean? Like, when he sits there and it's like, Diane, like, it's supposed to be paid, during Passover. But I play it every single Shabbat, because to me, it's like, when you reflect on the week, there are so many things that you could have went one way, but, I feel like, in my case, because I'm a faithful person, are spiritual. I say spiritual because I don't go by, a rule book or anything like that. It's just like, this is what connects me. This is what I do. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, that's cool. Maybe it resonates in a different way with whom you believe in, but for me, it was just like, Shane passed away, and it's like, we put all the money in his account for rent that day, and we had to pay, like, car insurance, we had to pay house insurance, we had to pay freaking alarm, like, you know what I mean? That first of the month where all those, important bills comes out, it's like everything was sitting as an account, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, he passed away with his wallet, it's at the police station, and they're not releasing it for 3 days, and I'm like, what in the flying F am I supposed to do? Thank God my landlord was understanding. You know what I mean? But it's just like, God had blessed one thing after another, after another. I remember sitting there and I'm like, we're about to move in how many weeks, and we don't even have a place to go to. You know what I mean? It's like teaching you, even though you don't understand what the next step is, that to have faith that somehow, some way it will work out. That your faith will carry you through. You know what I mean? It's just like, when we pray for people, you know what I mean? The power of prayer. Doing simple acts like that is like, you don't understand the power of that. You know what I mean? That's why when people ask me to pray for them, I kid you not, I sit there and I hold the Shabbat candle. I play Shalalahem, and then there's another one I play before we do the Kiddush. And while that song is that hymn is playing, I hold on to that candle in my left hand, my receiving hand, and I pray for that person. And thank God for that week, and ask God, for certain things. But when someone asks me to pray for them, I sit there and I hold on to that candle and ask God to watch over whomever it is, and ask to bring whatever it is in that they need at that time. When I tell people I pray for them, I take that seriously. You know what I mean? Don't ask me to pray for you and don't expect me not to pray for you. You know what I mean? If you don't want me to pray for you, don't ask me, because that's how devoted I am. When it's Shabbat, I will sit there and hold that candle, and you're one of the people I will pray for that have asked me. You know what I mean? So it's just like, there is a power in faith. Doesn't mean you have to go to a synagogue, a mosque, a temple, a mountain, or anything like that. God is everywhere. You know what I mean? Yahweh Yeshua is everywhere. Whomever you believe in. You know what I mean? It's always with you. An inheritance is coming to you that will present in the physical form. It indicates that this is a form of divine providence being handed to you. So this is being given to you. And that's why I'm saying, like, we always wonder where, who is sharing this knowledge with me? Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like, when I was reading for this person on Friday, I'm like, I feel like the ancestors are coming in. I feel like an uncle is coming in and sharing knowledge for him. You know what I mean? I feel like my ancestors always will help me, with that as well on a deeper level. Co-creation, visualization, tangible results, new venture. And I feel like, when we talk about new venture, what is judgment all about? Clearing the path. And I feel like that's what they do. They were talking about this wheel of fortune, and they were showing this big sphere, this big stone sphere. And it had like a square, hollow shape in the middle. So it's like it could have been they could put like a peg in there and make it a wheel. But it's like through this cornfield. You know what I mean? And it's just slowly rolling. It's going at a slow pace, and we're just like comfortably walking behind it through this cornfield. And I feel like with the corn, it's like because you can't see through it. You can't see what's around you. This is very much like the Enchanted Forest cards, where it's the Fool and it's the White Hart, and they're saying follow this ancient animal because they will protect you as you go through this stage where it's like you don't know what's going to unfold, you don't know what's going to happen, but trust that your ancestors are with you. Yahweh, Yeshua, Creator, Divine, Gaia, Mother Earth, your higher self is with you as you go through this. Nothing will harm you. You will meet some shady characters along the way. You know what I mean? You already probably have shady characters in your life. We all know who they are. Sometimes we can't cut them all out of our life. But it's just like, just trust that you will get through this. And then it'll open up to this beautiful, part of your life where they're like, if we could bottle this feeling, we would, And it's just like everything will be made known to you. Very high priestess energy. So when you experience material gain, it's seemingly a form happy stance. What comes from above needs to be grounded of the red chakra. This is a new foundation. That is something we keep getting. A new foundation. With no harm to none. We don't want anything to happen where you're rocked to the core, where it's a devastation, like a tower moment. But I feel like new foundation, like, maybe a new partner comes into your life. So this builds a new foundation. They keep saying that, like this emperor, they keep showing like a table and one leg is missing. And it's just like, this person is going to be a part of that will make everything sustainable. This will bring that stability into the home, the emperor, you know what I mean? So it's just like, is someone coming in, or is this just like, spirit is like, we're bringing something in that will stabilize your house? Like, what is this, You're already, you're already a manifester. Will you choose to be a conscious one? And that's the biggest thing. It's like, it's sitting there and the discipline that goes in with this. Oh my goodness, I'm running out of time here. But, when we go into the judgment, it's, level 3, mastery. You know what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Like, there is consciousness, clairvoyance, and clairaudience of this earth. And then there's above that. And I feel like that's where they're saying mastery. And I feel like you're doing that because you've been disciplined. because you believe, because you sit there and write them down, even though you, it's like, when the universe was like, we're protecting you. Do you understand? I'm like, no, like, I don't understand what you're protecting me from. You feel my frustration. You know my frustration. I know we've outgrown this situation. We've outgrown this situation a long time ago. But it's like, I understand that, I am being kept still for a reason. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I trust, I believe, I know, even though I don't understand. The Fool summons gratitude. There you go. Having reached the seventh chakra, the Fool is now a vessel of clarity and universal good. When we live in the mastery, we honor those who taught us how to live. I was talking about that last week. Even though I don't talk to this person anymore, it's like, they taught me how to live on a budget. Um, that was the first person that I ever seen in my life use a tarot deck. And we actually switched tarot decks. I bought one and she's like, well, you're supposed to be given them, but if you could see how many I have now been gifted to me and I've bought myself off of Alley, it's like, it's like you enjoy them, So it's just like, appreciating what those people were in your life for. There's a season and a reason, This is not a place of forgiveness, rather a place of raised consciousness. Self-forgiveness taking place in the fourth chakra and below. Here is the work is completed and acceptance owns this energy. You are more than magnetizing your dreams. You are creating light for yourself and others. The student has become the master. Wisdom, improvement, appreciation, realization, release, harmony, acceptance, unity. Saturn, retrograde energy. We're entering into a retrograde. This indicates going back and reviewing where you have come from, taking stock of choices made. It also means preparing for challenges you may not have seen until now. What will you need to prepare for? The voice of insecurity can be calmed using meditative silence, breath. You have now separated the material from the spiritual. One is not better than the other. The World card will offer you an opportunity to combine, rejoice in the complete synchronicities of your circumstances. The biggest thing is accepting where we are. It's like, sometimes we don't see, like, I know in my case, it's just like, especially now, with interest rates and everything raising, I'm probably seen as a huge risk to sit there and buy a home, which is, you know what I mean? I understand that, so it's like, I'm not at that point yet, which I accept, you know what I mean? I understand that, if financial abundance comes in and does that, definitely will be a huge blessing. The biggest thing for us is the security that someone could never sit there again and come in and be like, oh, sorry, no, this happened, no, you know what I mean? It's just like working towards that. 3 of Wands, the card of internal thought. She sends her emotional energy into the wand crystal of manifestation. Her focus has calmed the sea of emotional surrounding her. The stars imply the magic has happened. The spell has been casted. Adjust your internal thermostat in preparation for receiving what you desire. Your future is in your hands. Direct the emotional power discover in the prior chakra, so the seventh chakra. Do not make decisions that are overly emotional. Rein in your hasty impulses. Expansion, journey, vision, cooperation, luck, magical thought. Imagine the glowing yellow crystal on the wand. Allow its power to ignite your energy, your plan. Do you experience higher consciousness? Harness your inner fire is the key to a vision becoming reality. What was this year all about? We still have, 6 more months, but it's just like, what is this year all about? About embracing our fire. They told us to embrace our bravery, courage, strength, resilience. So the 6 of Cups, the card of emotional conjure. You have being asked to acknowledge the past and that you cannot remember, since it's the emotional memory of your family of origin. It indicates a hidden family agreements regarding the healing It indicates the hidden family agreements regarding the healing of our ancestors and yet unseen inherent gift or talent. See? When the Fool supports our ancestors, we recognize that our success is attributed to our past. We have more ancestral support than you're aware of, but will you choose to see it? So, tapping into that, helping us out. Imagination, empathy, femininity, healer, romance. Embody the energy of your sixth chakra. Allow the conjuring love energy into your space. Who would you be if you had stand in this energy frequently? Since results take 90 days to take root, continue your physical force every day for at least 25 seconds. Maybe you started a new routine, a deeper routine. Maybe there's someone in your family that was a healer. That's why you're drawn to that. Moon card is another mastery card. So the Fool learns that the light of her shadow side. As the fifth chakra card, we are being given a chance to review the message we sent out invisibly to the universe. We are cultivating something that we didn't want but haven't yet seen clarity. Self trust, habits, consciousness, unconsciousness, fearlessness, psychic prophecy, Mars, retrograde energy that could be experienced in a loss stream or a sense of loss. When the fifth chakra is in retrograde energy, it is time to reassess or consider our current methods. How are you behaving? Are you reassessing or reconsidering your current methods? Beware of phases. Well, I guess it's not meant to be. This is a way of disowning your feelings of disappointment and give up on your desire to avoid being hurt in the future. Having faced the moon, recommit to her inner courage and true path. The Fool will find the sun, becoming friends at this point in her journey. I feel, because we get frustrated that things don't happen in the time that we want. So we just downplay it. We sit there and downplay it like, oh, it's okay, It is a disappointment, but, one thing I've learned is sometimes things are not meant to be in your life. People, places, things, Six of Coins, the card of financial recuperation. Recuperativity. When the sixth chakra is in our sixth sense, we also be inherited family beliefs around inheritances. We keep getting that. Inheritances. Our ancestral history may indicate that we relate to finances. In what form did we learn about money? Personal rewards from unexpected resources. But that's the thing. It's just like, everybody is out in the summertime. I'm usually busy. Well, I can't say that. Even my girlfriend told me that. Her family owns a business, and they were just like, you can't really, put rhyme to reason with certain things, And it's true. Like, I can't get too much into this because I'm running out of time. I gotta start work. But personal rewards for unexpected resources, knowledge, power, employment, receiving, humanity, karma. So maybe that's what the Lionsgate was about. Imagine that you're one of the spirit guides and is handing you 6 coins. So with this on IG, they were showing dimes. So dimes may be a positive symbol of this. You're reaching out to touch them. As you do, notice the energy you experience. Now notice something about each one. It could be a feeling, a shape, an intention, or what it means. Trust and you will know. While you are in touch with this energy, allow this consciousness to reveal your next step. Sit there and try to do channel messages. Like, what's the next step here? You know what I mean? Sometimes it'll be like myself, where it's just like, not right now. This is why we're protecting you. Do you understand? I'm like, no, but I'm sure in time you'll allow me to understand. You know what I mean? As things unfold. So it's the biggest thing is trust. this came in because we're probably like myself, you're frustrated, but it's like they keep on talking about this inheritance. So this knowledge, you could be coming into conscious healing, you know, clairvoyance, clairaudience. So I hope you guys enjoyed these daily tarot cards for Tuesday, July the 18th, 2023. May the universe bless you good. We'll see you for the next daily tarot card.